Okay, so here we have the character, the small little boy, now turned yellow already, no longer the Thanos color. Okay, so I already done the baking of the AO map. Okay, if you cannot remember how to do the AO map, you can watch the weapon, how to bake the AO map from there. It's the same thing. Okay, so you can use that as a reference. Then creating all the mask layer again, same thing as your assignment 1. Okay, and the wireframe here, the UV snapshot. AO. Okay, and this is my diffuse working file. I save it out as a JPEG and I have loaded it into the character model. Okay, so now we are going to focus on just the face alone, how we can make use of the AO map and how we can do some coloring. Okay, first off, I'm going to create a new layer and then I'm going to use beige. The color again we can adjust later on. Okay, so this one a bit too yellowish. I'm going to add in a bit more red. Control B to turn on the color balance. Bring it towards the red and magenta. Click OK. Now I'm going to mask off the face and the hand. Okay, I'm going to call this skin color. Okay, so usually I will have a base color for everything. So before moving on to the skin, I want to do those things as well. Jacket color maybe red. So these are my jacket, mask, jacket color. Pants, create a new layer again. Shift Control N for create new layer. Blue, alternate delete to fill the color. W for magic wand. These are the jeans. Mask it, jeans color. Hair color maybe I will use brown for now. Okay, the color of this you can change again one. Mask. Okay. Okay, the shoes, and then later we will do the eyes. Okay, I will put red for the shoe for now as well. Later we can change the color again. And then eyeball. Okay, the one on my left, that is the iris. Sorry, that's the eye white. So I'm going to paint that white. And then this one here will be the eyeball. That will be somewhat bluish for now. And then, oops, wrong layer. Magic wand, mask. Okay, AO map reduced to 30%. Shift Control S, boy diffuse. Save the file as well. Okay, so currently this is the base color for everything. Okay, so now if I were to hide the hair, you'll realize that the AO map have caused some shadow around the head. So we need to do a bit of cleanup for the AO map. Okay, I bring it back up to 100% so that it's easier to see how it looks like. Okay, so for the AO map, I'm going to create a mask. Using a black color brush, it will help me erase. Okay, but I'm going to turn on the feathering. So use a soft brush, play around with the size. you can start to clean up. Okay, I can also turn on the opacity. Okay, and it will not clean 100% of all the AO. Okay, I can use the mask for the skin to help me in case I have cleaned over the surface or the selection. Okay, we want to keep a bit of the AO around the face itself, the eyes, the nose. Okay, around the neck. Okay, same thing for the hand. We can erase those at the wrist. Anything that look kind of off, just do a bit of cleanup. Okay. Next, I'm going to save over. And reload the textures. Okay, so now you can see the character looks very scary. The face very black. Okay, so the color for the AO is not suitable at all because we don't have this kind of black shadow on our face. Usually, unless the person going to pass away, the dead corpse, then zombie kind, then you will have this kind of black color surface. So making use of again the layers, okay, the masking layer, control click on that alpha, you can select that whole area, go to your AO, control U to bring out the hue and saturation, activate colorize. Okay, you can see straight away the color from black turns to a bit bluish. Okay, we are going to use something reddish. Okay, and then we're going to increase the lightness or the saturation. Press OK and bring down the opacity to 30%. Okay, I'm going to save over again and reload the textures. Okay, the pinkish AO is actually very subtle. Okay, but it's good enough for us to move on from now. Okay, so with the AO, even without the wireframe, we are able to tell where are the nose, the eyelid, and the mouth. So together with the wireframe, it will help us texture easier. Okay, so I create a new layer again, this time around above the skin color. Okay, and I'm going to change the skin tone a little bit. Okay, add a bit more white to it. Going to use a darker, okay, or slightly more reddish color. Same thing now, I'm using a very soft brush, a feathered brush. Okay, I'm going to add a bit of blood around the cheek. Okay, this kind of like blushes and stuff. Okay, I'm just doing a blocking, so later on I will still be erasing the blushes. So roughly you can see where the blushes are. And then I'm going in to start erasing it. Okay, I can use the mask to help me remove. Okay, if I remove too much, again I can add it back, making use of opacity to help me as well. Okay. Save the file. Okay, slightly better. Okay, I can also choose to reduce the opacity, make it subtle. Okay, and move on to the next one, which is a bit of a shadow. Making use of my AO, I want to see where the lines are, which are surrounding the eyes. Okay, so I'm going to paint around that surface. Okay, same thing for the nostril. Okay, take away the wireframe and save again. So you can see now the eyes looks very off. Okay, the shading is too much, so we need to clean up. So I turn on the wireframe again using the eraser tool, or I can use the mask tool to help me mask away anything that is too much. Okay, try to capture this shadow just below the brown bridge. Okay, want to soften the blending. Okay, the color, blend it into the skin. Reduce the opacity. Save it. Reload. Okay, we're going to add a bit more of this shading around the nose and the mouth. So I'm bringing it back to 100%. Turn on the wireframe. You just do a bit of shading around the nose. Okay, the lips itself will be a separate layer. This is just a bit of the shading only. Okay, I'm trying to blend the colors together. So I noticed that the AO map that I have right now have a bit of issue as well. So later I'll be going back to clean up. Okay, a few ways to clean up the AO is simply to paint over, or what you can also do is make use of this blur tool. Okay, you can use either the smudge or the blur to help you. Okay, save. Reload. Okay, slightly better. I'm going to paint a bit of the shading around the neck as well, or the jaw. Okay, I don't have the ear for this model, but for the ear wise, you know, those loops, those cavity, you can shade them as well. Okay, I'm going to bring down the opacity to 50%. Okay, reduce the color a bit. Add a bit more red to the skin. Save it again. Okay, slightly better. Okay, but the character looks very dead now, so I'm going to add a bit of lips color into it. Create a new layer using a bright red color, hard brush. Okay, so I'm going to create the lipstick quickly. Okay, this again just to block out where the lips are. Then I will tweak the color and the details later on. Okay, so this is how the lips looks like. Okay, so with the wireframe turned on, I can see the lips went out of place already. So I can use the wireframe here to help clean up using the eraser tool, a hard brush. Okay, slightly better. Okay, the bottom part, I think I can texture a bit some more. Okay, I'm going to duplicate the layer and test out something. Go to filter, blur, Gaussian blur. Save it out. I think the lip looks a bit funny. Okay, Control F to blur it again. Okay, I want to sharpen the upper lips a little bit. Save. Okay, now I'm going to change the color of the lipsticks. Okay, the lips should be somewhere around the same color as the skin. Okay, then I'm going to duplicate the layer, add a bit more blood into it, Control B. Okay, and then using the mask tool, I'm going to mask away the upper portion. Okay, save it again. Reload. Okay, I can add more colors to the skin itself, but now I want to move on to a bit of detail on the face. So for the lips itself, I can actually create one more layer. Then this will be like the lips detail. Okay, using a hard brush, okay, of a darker skin tone. Okay, I'm just going to draw something like the wrinkles around the lips. Okay, the older your character, the more wrinkles there will be. Okay, it looks very weird on the Photoshop, but when you save it out, put it on 3D, it should look okay. Okay, so I think certain things need to lengthen. Okay, and then anything that is too much, we will soften it. Okay, now like face details, like the freckles and stuff, we can also add a bit of red dots randomly with different size. Okay, then I can duplicate that layer and use a Gaussian blur. Can also play around with my blending mode if I want to. Save the file. Okay, if you are doing a young character, it will look something like that. If you want to change your character to make him look older, what you can do is to add something like the beard or the skin tone around the area. One color I always use is blue. Okay, with again a softer brush. Okay, I'm going to paint around the jaw. Okay, again I'm going to save it, check if the position is suitable. Okay, so now this small little boy have this blue mustache. Okay, Gaussian blur. Okay, and then I'm going to use different kind of blending mode. here and reduce the opacity. Save it again. Okay, now your young man looks a bit older already. Okay, on top of that, we can also do a few more stuff. Let me just bring it back to 100%, normal. Yeah, I'm going to Gaussian blur again. Duplicate the layer. Now I have 2 layers of that beard thing. Go to filter, noise, add noise. Okay, this will add those small little hair pigment. Press OK, multiply, reduce the opacity. Use your mask. Okay, you can slowly blend them together. Okay, something like that.